Hello, Frugal Force, once again, Captain Frugal reporting for duty, and today I'm going to review the new issue of Captain America, issue 695, the return to the original numbering. And I will say right off the bat that I was very leery about reading this book and getting in this book because it's written by Mark Waid, and I'm not a big fan of what he's been doing and his behavior lately, and I didn't know if I really wanted to support a book that was written by him, but I had a lot of requests to review it, and to be honest, I was quite interested myself just to check it out. So diving in to the book, before I do that too, if you do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notifications bell to help me out. And if you really want to help me out, go to my VidMe channel where you can subscribe for as little as $1 a month. And also, you can follow me at thehenchmanslounge.com. All right, now that we got that out of the way. Well, this book is Startup's introductory to the new story arc. It starts with a flashback from 10 years ago, it says. And this must have been recently after Captain America was de-thawed. So anyway, we get introduced to Captain America saving some kids in a school, this bad team known as Rampart. Cap saves these kids, and this Rampart team, of course, is white supremacists. And that's one of the issues I have right off the start. Not that I am a white supremacist, as a matter of fact, anything but that. I'm far from the fact. But how many times does Marvel have to use white supremacists as the villains? The number of the KKK and white supremacists is so small that it's really an insignificant number and very little power in that group. But yet, if you look through Marvel's eyes, you'd swear that the KKK is growing by an alarming rate. I mean, come on. Couldn't they have done something a little different? Okay, with that said, anyway, Captain America is going and saving these kids, and you notice that he asked the black girl to protect the white boy. Now, this could be a coincidence, but I really don't think so. You know, once again, he said she was bigger, so you know what? I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to that one. The black girl named Donna later on tries to save Captain America, which was pretty cool, you know, everyone together, and I don't have any issue with that. But anyway, Cap ends up saving her, the shot rings off, breaks the American flag stand, the post it was on, and he ends up wrapping that flag around her. Now, you know you're not supposed to dress the American flag, but hey, you know, it is a nice image, okay? Now, one thing I do want to notice in this book, Cap almost calls that terrorist group Nazis, but then he changed it and called them extremists. So be very careful. There's those little things like that, because once again, Marvel right now is all about anybody who disagrees with him as a Nazi. But once again, I'm going to let that slide. All right. So anyway, we get past that part and we cut back to the present. All right. And now the sign is changed for the town in respect to Captain America. And I thought that was a sweet gesture. I really liked that a little bit. And they're having a Captain America celebration, an annual celebration, which they always do. And so Captain America goes in as Steve Rogers to, you know, to keep from being off the radar, if you will. Okay? So anyway, once again, though, we have a little bit of politics here. That's the problem I was fearing with this with Mark Waid. It has some touching moments. I'll say that. The writing is almost giving it a pass. We see people sharing their stories about how Steve Rogers, Captain America, has influenced them and impacted their life or saved it. And I thought the part was very touching. Okay? But do be a little careful there. This is almost ham-fisted, but not quite there with this political agenda. Okay? So anyway, we get through that part, which was a little bit cringy, but yet a little bit sweet. And then we get the supremacist, the white supremacist group is back. The same group, and that's why Captain America, Steve Rogers, ended up going there anyway. So anyway, he fights against them. And I will say it had some interesting fight scenes and some interesting shield work. All right. So before Cap defeats him, there is also a suicide bomber, because, you know, there always has to be nowadays, I guess, because once again, it's just, you know, maybe a little bit of, I don't know how to put this, because of the popularity of a suicide bomber right now. I don't hate to say that way, but it was okay. All right, with that said, my thoughts on the book. The art was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular. It had a bit of a retro feel to it, and it somewhat makes sense due to the type of comic it is. Okay, The negative I said is, once again, we're dipping into the well of the white supremacist for the bad guy. Could we have not done something different, something original? We just got done with Nazi Cap, for crying out loud. And once again, we had a suicide bomber. I don't know, it's just a little bit too much in today's age. Overall, it's a decent book. I would give it a C+, maybe a C. It's not anything great, though. It's not anything that's like, oh, this was so good, I have to keep reading. It wasn't anything to really hook me into the next issue, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get issue 2. Once again, there was politics in it. Mark Waid can't get away from the politics. If he would have got away from it, I think it could have been better. But he didn't do it so ham-fistedly that you couldn't stand it. But it was a little cringy, okay? So bear that in mind. So overall, I give it a C, C+. Maybe going to try the next issue. I'm not still quite sure. Alright, let me know your thoughts about this comic. Let me know in the comments. Was I too hard on it? Did I see things that maybe weren't really there and I made more out of it than what there was? Or was it really cringy and maybe I'm giving it a little bit of a pass because I wanted some good Captain America back for so long? Alright, once again, that's my thoughts, not yours. And if you did enjoy this video, once again, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, keep it frugal.